Hey, hell yeah, we're back. December 23rd is what the date is today. So it is not a Sunday fun day. It is a Saturday heyday. Well, what's going on is it's Christmas Eve tomorrow, and I have to go and do some Christmassy stuff. You know, the old Grinch here, the old Scrooge, has a teeny weeny bit of Christmas heart in him. So, you know, I do a few things. So anyway, but I have a full day today. Well, not a full day, but I got a good 5-6 hours, and boom, we're back on this old girl. So where we left off, if y'all remember, was we were working on the floor, and we drilled out the holes to plug weld it to this. But what we're going to do next is, like I had said, we got some rust repair to do in the front corner here. We're going to cut that out, and we'll just make a homemade patch ourselves, but weld it in. While we're making that, we're going to take this off first. We're going to Scotch-Brite it inside. That's our weld-through primer. Then we're going to spray a rust paint on the inside, but not on the lip, because we're going to be welding to that. Much like I managed to do... Ow! Son of a bitch, I got metal in my knee. Somebody should sweep the floor. Where's the floor sweeper? I don't need a beer assistant, I need a floor sweeper. Anyway, this week, that's about the only thing I managed to get done, was I did it to this cross member. Or body support, whatever you prefer to do. It's a body support, actually. And this is the rear one that's going to go along in here. So I got that done between working, and the only other thing I got done was on the shoebox forwards. You've got two threaded, we'll call them nuts or inserts, whatever you like, in the frame. That's where your seat goes through factory. So I drilled out the two holes that need to be for the seat goes, because I am putting the factory seat back in. So that's what happened there, which you can much see on the other side. You'll see there's one there, there's one in there. So right now we're going to pull this off, Scotch-Brite it, spray it with some rust paint inside while that's drying, take care of our patch, boom. And I might cut out this section of this rear floor just to get the hell out of my way. After we get all that done, we're going to bolt that back in and start welding the floor in. That's our plan for today. I don't know if we'll get the floor pan all completely welded in, but we're going to get her tacked in. That is the goal. If I can get that done, I'm super happy. All right. Well, let's let her rip, Tater Chip. Look at that old undercoat. Look at that floor. Alright. Still pretty, not bad for 1950. Anyway. There we go. I just wanted to get that out of the way. And again, here we go with our rubber mount. And we'll get that bolt out of there. And hopefully the threads are okay in the frame, and if not, well, we'll just punch it out and we'll weld a new nut in there. There we go. Okay, so we got our floor brace there painted, ready to go. Support brace. I cut out this, whoops, I cut out this piece here, put a new piece in, good, butt welded it in there, put a little lip on it because it's hard to tell with this, but this is coming down with the lip. I'm going to clean this up a bit more, but this is solid metal. I mean, so I'll clean that up a bit more. Then we'll put our brace in, our support in, and yeah, we'll attempt to put this piece of the floor pan in. Before we put it in, we're going to put all our rubber mounts, our new rubber mounts in place. And I was going to mention, I got a rubber mount kit from, this one came from Dennis Carpenter. There it is. Very nice kit. I'm very happy with it, very pleased with it. And what I also like is to actually take the time, whether you believe it or not, a lot of places out there don't take the time to give you even a nice description of where the pads should go. And I like the fact, Dennis Carpenter, I like the fact they did that. Not that you can't figure it out yourself, but it's just nice to have this, because you know what? Sometimes the mind forgets a few things, and there's nothing wrong with having a note handy to know what's going on. So, let's play with the floor. Okay, you can see I'm starting to clamp it in here. Seat bolts are there. Brace is back in place underneath. You can see the holes, so we're going to plug weld it, and I'm going to start to put a few spot welds here and there, just to kind of hold it in place. Usually what I like to do is I'll do a couple spot welds, maybe one here, one there, one in the far corner, one in the center, one over there. Then what I'll do is I'll take the clamps off and just make sure how it looks underneath. Make sure everything is lining up properly, because you can always cut a spot weld real quick rather than getting in here and starting to just weld it solid and think, oh, I got it, and then you crawl underneath the car and you realize there's something wrong. What possibly could go wrong under the car? Well, maybe you don't, you know, maybe the floor isn't quite lining up with your brace underneath. But I've looked at all that and it is. But I just sooner be safe than sorry, because I hate cutting things apart afterwards. But if you make a mistake, remember, and you have to cut it apart, it's only metal, you can repair it, it's not wood, so don't ever become a woodworker. Look, see what we're doing. So, a couple spot welds up in there, a couple welds here, and you can see how it's touching the support brace underneath. And then I'm doing a couple, you know, on the holes I drilled here, a couple of plug welds, which allows me to, you know, take stuff off, move these along as you go, because you can see, like, where were we here? Because see, that's, oops, sorry guys. It says nice and tight there, but you know, it's kind of coming out a little bit here, so we want to, you know, we want to snap that over. And then what I'm going to do is on here, like I told you, so I never bought the centerpiece. Part of me wishes I had. This is in good shape though, so I'm saving the money by not buying it. but they all overlap. Like the centerpiece now, the new piece would have lapped into here. That's why they recessed it down in. But so right now what I've got is I've got a lip underneath the car like that. So I could drill holes through here, which I didn't, and you're going to find out in a second here. I didn't drill holes through here. I could have drilled holes through here and plug welded it, or I could just weld it solid and leave it, and then go underneath the car and seam seal where the lip is, but I'm not. I'm going to do my old trusty trick that I showed you I do on quarter panels. I'm going to cut it here. I'm just going to cut. I'm going to run my zip saw right along here. I cut, this floor will lift up, spot weld. Cut, spot weld. So everything here is butt welded together. Then that extra piece will just fall down underneath the car. So it's going to be a bit of a job today, and but we'll keep going. The one thing I forgot to do, not a big deal. You can do it when it's in, you can do it when it's out. It's probably a little better to actually do it in, but for me, I'm keeping the master cylinder under here, so I got to cut this out. But again, it doesn't matter. When I lift the body off the frame, I'll bring my big hole saw along, and boom, I'll just cut it out then. For me to cut it out right now, the hole saw is going to hit the master cylinder, right? So I can't do that. So I'm going to continue welding along here, and then I will, I'll just show you where we end up getting to. The reason I cut the floor out in the back, get my feet in here and sit comfortably. So what I do is I got a jack underneath here, little jack, keep a little pressure on the floor pan. Like I said, we're going to cut, spot weld as we go along, so we're butting everything together. So, I know it's not the best filming, but hey, I'm filming. I don't have tripods and all that shit. Not about to spend the money to do it either. Alright. Stop it. We're good. So, go underneath the car. This is the floor pad that's underneath, laying under it. Let's get these off. I pull the metal away. Remember to pull the metal away. So if you don't pull it away, you could possibly weld it back on. It lines right up pretty much. I put a jack under there just so if I need to give it a little tap, like right here, I got to give it a little tap. It's level, perfect. Throw the helmet on. Oh. There. Then we'll go back where we used to be welding. A couple more. Yeah. So, watch out for the sparks. Put the glasses back on. Put the earmuffs back on. Keep on cutting. Get the camera. I'll show you what I mean. Oh, God. See? And see? It's level. Because like I say, this floor has a flange like this under it. Because it's meant to have the new piece, if I bought it, sit on top of it. But I didn't buy the new piece. So now this flange is underneath this part here. So I'm doing is I'm just cutting along here and basically butt welding it. There we go. There we are. So I'm going to continue along. I'm going to shut the camera off. I'm not going to film it forever because it's just going to get boring for you guys. You get the idea of what's going on. Alright, she's all welded in. Welded solid across the front. Butt welded solid across there. Plug welded onto the support brace. Plug welded into the rocker panel. Now it's grinding time. Grind some of that down, clean it up. I just set the bolts in where the seat would go. The only reason I did that was there's rubber cushions under there, you know, like rubber mounts, like the old ones there. I put the new ones under there. I wanted to make sure everything was still lining up good and the height was fine. So I put the bolt through, because if I don't, I'm going to lose the cushion. And I'm trying, also, I want to make sure that I bolt this car down with every mount and everything, because that's going to, you know, when a car's not bolted fully down, it's going to change how things line up. And I wanted to make a note of this. Papa, goes by Papa on my websites. Papa something, I forget. Sorry, Papa. Anyway, he had mentioned, is there adjustment in the body shims for the doors, Rick? And I forgot to mention there is. On these shoe boxes, if you see, where can we get here where you can see here, right here, this is a body mount. Number 10, the inner fender wasn't here. There's a brace coming off your firewall. See, there's your rubber cushion mount. You can actually, so if you're trying to, you can adjust that. And how you can adjust that is, believe it or not, by shimming it. So if you were to suck it down tighter, right? Visualize you put maybe this is what you're going to do. This is a mount that's in here. So if you suck it down tighter, what you're going to do is you're going to suck the body, is level, going to go like that. Which, in return there, it's going to open the gap up at the top of the door, and it's going to close at the bottom, because it's going to change it like that. If you shim this, which a lot of the Ford companies did, you just saw, I just took the shims out under the floor. It had rubber mounts under there with shims in it. If you were to shim that would not allow it to suck down as much, which would close the gap up in the top, maybe open it in the bottom. There is movement there by playing with that, trust me. Even 55 Chevys have the same thing. I'm not saying you get a ton there, but you do get some movement there. That will change shit a bit at your door gap. Because you have to imagine, pretend I took that out of there right now, just lost it. That's what, like a ½ inch, would you guys say? If I suck that right down tight, what's it going to do? It's going to be pulling the body down. If it's pulling the body down, it's pulling the body down. So it's going to pull that post down. It's going to change this gap, believe it or not. Trust me on that. But anyway, I made sure my door is still closing good. Nothing's changed there. Did that several times, which I wasn't showing in the video as I was doing this. It's grinding time. And then I got a couple welds, which I got to do on the support brace underneath. I put on. It has to be plug welded to, I don't know if we can see this. You probably can't. Anyway, right in here. It has a flange, a lip coming out, and it has to be plug welded to the back of the rocker. So, and that's it. And then away we go. So, that needs to be done. Don't know if I'll get that done today. Don't even know how much grinding I'll get done today. Got to head in here pretty soon. I'm calling it an early day. Got out here at 10:30 and I'm going in for 4:30. And I believe right now it is like 3:45. So, well, we'll do some grinding and see where we can get. You know, I want to tidy that up a bit. And of course, I'm not worried about it today, but when I get the body off the frame, and it's up on the hoist there, that's how I'm going to take it off. Then that'll give me a chance to grind any welds that are coming through the bottom of this underneath. Then I'll grind them then and clean that up. Okay, guys. Well, that's going to be it for the day. It is 4:30 now, and I got to clean up, put stuff away. So I did get it all grinded down there. You can see it's, you know, the dips are. The bead rolls, I should say, are lining up. Bead rolls. They put these in to strengthen the floor. If the floor is just a straight flat pan, which you can do, you're going to get a thing called oil canning, which means when you press up and down the floor, it oil cans. That's why they put these ribs in here. They bead roll them in, whatever you want to decide to call it. So anyway, it's all cleaned up there. So we got to clean up, of course, across the front, the plug welds, and then the few along here. Clean that up. Weld this underneath, like I said earlier in the video, and then we're ready to rock and roll. Ready to rock and roll. Whoa! Okay. With that being said, well, I wish you all a Merry Christmas. And I'm going to see you before New Year's, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, have a good Christmas. Spend it with the family, spend it with the dog, spend it with the whoever. Doesn't matter. Spend it by yourself. Just enjoy your day. Do what makes you happy. Remember that. Do what makes you happy. Merry Christmas to all, especially all you guys watching, obviously. All my suppliers out there, thank you so much. All my customers, thank you. And I will see you sooner than you think.